But I see what you're saying, because if the Lord says He's going to give you something, why buy it?
Yeah.
But at the same token, because He's considering Himself a foreigner and a sojourner, right? He can't just walk in and lay claim to this cave that He wants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, success.
This
I couldn't
Okay.
wait to get that in.
You just threw it in there.
And just like I was doing this, and I was like, hey. What is going on, XYZers and XYZ Nation? We back up in the building, doing the thing that we do. Don't start laughing at me already. Don't do it. I already got to deal with the one all the way at the far end laughing at me when I try to talk all hip. Now you here and just fitting right in. Look at you. All right, but we are back with our next episode, and that is Genesis chapter 23. And the title is It's So Hard
This guy.
to Say Goodbye
Mm.
to Yesterday.
Okay.
I've never heard
That first
song.
note was what? Not me feeling old today.
I've never heard that song.
You never heard that song before?
Really?
Who's it by?
Boys and Men sang it last, but before that, there was a movie called Coolie High
Mm.
with Cochise. And Cochise died, and at his funeral, they sang that song.
Oh wow. I've never heard of it before. It's a good song. I'll do my research later.
Okay. Boys and Men did it last, and they did
Yeah.
it. a
Boyz II Men
really
is who
good
I
job.
know.
That's the
Okay.
one you know.
Yeah.
Oh man, see, just like I said, you just fitting right in, making Chris feel old. That's what happens. I get it. I get it. Oh man, and we are supposed to do something, and that something is to introduce ourselves. I am the latchkey one himself, the former X-Man representing Gen X, all up in the area, and at the far end we have.
I am Moya, the resident millennial.
Dun, 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 dun.
And we also, and we are generational scriptures
Yes.
with an addition today, which is Lily.
Yes.
Everyone knows Jasmine is still out on maternity leave. And we have Lily stepping in.
Yeah.
Yay!
I'm Lily. I'm the microwaver.
Yeah,
The
she's the
microwaver.
Ah,
The Gen Z, for the younger generation represent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, so it is cool to have you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having
You
me.
appreciate it. Oh man. And then one of the things that we like to do in one of our segments is that we like to go over what we talked about last episode.
Yeah.
And we call that the Aight So Boom segment that Miss Moyo takes the lead on. So if you do not mind.
Yes. So,
Ah,
all right. So,
there you go. Thank
chapter
you.
22, we have God calling Abraham. Abraham responds, "Here I am."
Mhm.
God tells him to take his son Isaac, who he loves, and go sacrifice him. Abraham wakes up early in the morning. He saddles his donkey. He takes his son. He takes two servants. He takes the wood for the offering, and they start journeying towards Moriah.
Yes.
And it's a 3-day journey. So we talked about in the last episode how it's a lot of time to think about what he's actually about to do. But he has faith that God is either going to raise Isaac from the dead or, provide for them either way.
Right.
So he goes, they get there. Isaac asks, so they get there. He leaves the two servants at the bottom,
Mhm.
and him and his son, tells them, we're going to go worship.
Yeah.
And me and my son will be back.
Yep.
And they go up, and as they're going, Isaac says, you have the wood, you have the knife, you have all the things, but where's the sacrifice for this burnt offering? And Abraham basically says God will provide his sacrifice. Once they get up there, he binds his son. He puts him on the altar, and he's about to kill his son. And I think we talked about in the episode also that a burnt offering is killed and then burnt so that there's no remnants left of it. So you're not expecting that, there's anything left to raise him back up, basically. He's starting to do that. Then God calls him again, Abraham. This time he calls him twice, Abraham, Abraham. And he's like, here I am again. And he's like, do not kill your son. And there's a ram in the bush that's caught. He goes and gets the ram. He sacrifices that ram. And then they go back down and they call that place, or they call the name of God there, Jehovah Jireh. God will provide. Or the Lord will provide. And God basically reaffirms the covenant that we've been talking about from the beginning in chapter 11. And it's been repeated several times, but here he's saying again, like, I will surely bless you. I will surely do these things. Your descendants will be as many as the stars. All of those things are repeated. Now that, it's not because he was willing to sacrifice his son, because we talked about the fact that the covenant is God doing, and also God like swearing by himself that he will complete the covenant, but Abraham's still showing faith and belief in that covenant, and God is just kind of like repeating. And we were talking about what is for us versus what is for God, which nothing is all of the things are for us. So I think go back to the episode so you can get clarity, because I think it's a little confusing to do it in a summary. And then we get the descendants of Nahor, which is Abraham's brother, who he left back home. So we get those people.
Awesome. Yeah, and when you say what is for us versus what is for God, you're really talking about the things that are said, right? The things that are recorded. It's not like God needs to be reminded of what he said. So it's like that stuff is more for us. Is our understanding that it is for God. Us in the sense of recorded to tell Abraham, and us in the sense of it's captured in scripture for us.
For us,
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. As always, it's the ISO Boom segment. Y'all ready to jump in?
Yep.
All right, let's get it. I have Genesis chapter 23, verses 1 and 2. And they read as follows. Sarah lived 127 years. These were the years of the life of Sarah. And Sarah died in Kiriath-arba, that is Hebron, in the land of Canaan. And Abraham went in to mourn for Sarah and to weep for her. Man. So it's crazy that you get, all of this that happened is the climax that happens, and then you don't hear anything else that's going on until you get to this part with Sarah. I thought that's interesting to me. So what about Sarah did you all find, or what in these couple of verses interests you or catches your eye?
For me, I would say, like you were kind of saying, like there's a kind of a big gap, but it's like they stayed in this place for so long. And I think I read when I was just doing research on this verse that Sarah was the only person that they said what age she died at, but the only woman, the only woman that she said what age she died at. And I think she played a very important role in this covenant that God has, and it can be seen as oh, this is the time that God chose to do this now and this now, but God is working the whole time throughout their whole life. So yeah, that's what I kind of picked out from it.
Okay.
For me, I think we talked about Hebron previously, but we talked about the Oak of Mamre. And that was also Hebron. And they were saying that this whole region, like we have, maybe you consider them like cities in the same town, something like that. So at first I was a little confused because I'm like, it says in Hebron, but then earlier it was in Hebron, but this is not like it's adjacent to each other, but all in the same like we're in Maryland, but you have the different, areas in there. So
Right.
in case anybody else is confused,
Right.
Hebron is big, and these are like sections within it.
Yeah. And it's interesting because what's happening is the narrator is sort of, because the way I'm reading it is Kiriath-arba may no longer be known that way.
Mm-hmm.
So he's trying to orient his readers like where it is now.
Yeah.
So this is where Sarah died, but if you really want to get some context or orient yourselves, it's Hebron.
Yeah.
Hebron.
And they're all a part of Canaan.
It's all in Canaan. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Did you all read that like some people try to put some symbolism behind the age that Sarah died?
I didn't read anything about that.
I think I read a couple of commentaries that said that people do that, like some of the midrashes and stuff, that they say like the 100 years means longevity and 20 years means beautiful and 7 years means something else. I don't. I think that she was just 127. But
She was just old.
note,
Yeah.
some people may come and say something along those lines. What do we think about Abraham's? I keep wanting to call him Abram, but I can call him Abraham now. Abraham's mourning.
Well, just from this first verse, I know it goes into it a little in the next verses, but it seemed like it was quick. I don't know if not that in a bad way, but that she died and he understood that she's obviously he said he wept for her, so he was sad. That was his wife. That was his lived 127 years with her, or not the whole year, but a long time with her, and they've come a long way. And now he's not that he was on his own because he still had his son, right? But that journey that they had together was very important for him. So he mourned, but he definitely moved as the Lord called him to move, not to stay in that area of mourning for I guess too long.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. He's upset he lost his bae.
Yeah.
His boo thing.
His girl.
She gone. Go ahead. Did you have something?
I was gonna say, I think I've always been, well, not always, but since we started studying them, I've had some bias towards the way he treats his wife. So when you say it was fast, I felt like, yeah, it was kind of. It seemed like, okay, he mourned. All right, now next thing, like, but I think when we get to the next couple verses, there was some things that stood out to me, and I think also in their culture, mourning may be a little different. So it could be written like this just because you're writing to other Jews, right? So their understanding of mourning may be different.
Yeah.
So we might be like, that's it. You just you wept a little bit, then you got up, but it's probably more to it. And then after, I think later on in the Bible, we see where they bury someone and they mourn for 7 days, or they hire people to weep and do all the things.
Yep.
So some of it's maybe a little performative, but some of it is, of course, going to be real. And there's the meshing of those two things.
Yeah, because I've got the same type of thing. So, because I was with y'all when I first read it, like mourn and weep, like it's just this short, but one sentence, right, or one phrase. But when I was reading, it was the commentary that I was reading was like in that term mourn and weep and encompasses all the things like you were saying, Moya, that come along with the death of a loved one, like rending your garments or disheveling your hair or cutting the beard or scattering ashes on your head. So that whole sackcloth and mourning thing, I think it's sort of inferred by them saying that he mourned and wept.
Yeah.
So I'm agreeing. I'm aligning with you on that.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting because I would have just like zoop, okay, he done and moved on, but he didn't. So, and back to one thing you mentioned, Lillian, about the importance, because I think there is something to the fact that she is the only matriarch that gets her years numbered.
Yeah.
And then I started to think about it, and then in Hebrews 11:11, I like to call that like the Faith Hall of Fame. faith, Sarah is mentioned there, right?
Mhm.
By faith, Sarah herself received power to conceive, even when she was past the age, since she considered him faithful who had promised. So, yeah, she is pretty important.
Yeah.
And just like you were saying, Lillian, for the entire process of what's going on. And just as we looked at before, Moyo, Abraham is like, can it be Ishmael, Eliezer? And the Lord's like, no, it's going to be Sarah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sarah's going to be the one who brings the child, the seed that I'm going to work through for the rest of my plan for the redemption of mankind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's pretty important.
Yeah.
That's pretty important. All right. Anything else that you all see in those? I think it's pretty. I think we've exhausted everything that's in there. I don't know that there's much else.
Yeah.
All right. Next up.
All right, verses 3 through 9 says, And Abraham rose up from before his dead and said to the Hittites, I am a sojourner and foreigner among you. Give me property among you for a burying place, that I may bury my dead out of my sight. The Hittites answered Abraham, Hear us, my lord. You are a prince of God among us. Bury your dead in the choicest of our tombs. None of us will withhold you from his tomb to hinder you from burying your dead. Abraham arose and bowed to the Hittites, the people of the land. And he said to them, If you are willing that I should bury my dead out of my sight, hear me and entreat for me Ephron, the son of Zohar, that he may give me the cave of Machpelah, which he owns. It is at the end of his field for the full price. Let him give it to me in your presence as property for a burying place.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah.
So Abraham, keep wanting to call him Abram. Abraham got up from his morning and went to find a place to bury his beloved,
Yeah.
the one that he really did care for. He just didn't always push her aside.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, what do we think about the interaction between him and the Hittites?
I think, I mean, just from from the beginning of those conversations that he had, where he says, "I'm a foreigner among you," like he came to this land of in Canaan, and he kind of settled there for a little bit. I would guess like he was there for a little bit. He probably was established, but it was like, I'm a foreigner among you. Like you guys don't know me like that in a way. I mean, they said, you are a lord among us.
Mhm.
But to him, he's like, yeah, but like you guys don't know me for real. Like I'm a foreigner among you. I'm not one of you guys. I'm just here. And he knows like he's here because God has sent him here for a purpose, because God has promised him that this is the land of his ancestors.
Mhm.
So yeah, I feel like from just that beginning, making that separation between the two of them.
I think, and it's interesting because he knows the land is promised to him, but it's not his yet.
Yeah.
So it's not mine, so I
Yeah.
can't just claim a place. So to go and ask them is important for him to do, because he hasn't bought anything here. All the times we've heard of him in Canaan, he's been in tents. We haven't heard of him building a home or like establishing anything solid outside of those tents. Even when God came to visit him, it was a tent still. So he's here and he knows that it's the promised land, but he still knows his place as of right now.
Yeah.
The other thing that stuck out to me was that because he knows this is the promised land, he's burying his wife there, because that wouldn't be normal practice for them to be buried in a foreign land.
Right.
So some of the commentaries I read were saying that's an act of faith on his part to leave her here. Yeah, and that's interesting.
Yeah, that is. It is. I have an interesting view on this. Let me know what you all think. Um, I think that Abraham is playing the game, so to speak. He wants a place to bury his wife. So Abimelech, right, who we already ran into, already gave him rain in some areas, right? But now he's like, I'm looking for a place to bury my wife. So I got to be like super nice to these folks and let them know that, yeah, I'm not really part of you, but I'm beseeching you, I'm coming to you for this thing.
Yeah.
And then while the Hittites are like, they say something to the effect of, "You are a prince of God among
Yeah.
us," or something of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like they're saying, "Nah, you really are. Come on in. We want you here."
Yeah.
You know, it made me think of when Abimelech wanted to make the treaty.
Mm-hmm.
Like Abimelech saw the hand of God that was sort of inferred in the conversation on Abraham.
Yeah.
That time I almost called him Moses on
Was-
Abraham. And I'm wondering, like, if the same type of thing is happening. People are recognizing, even the Hittites in this case are recognizing, who this Abraham is and how everything that he's doing is, there's a favor upon him.
Yeah.
And so they're going to come at him in a certain way. Abraham's going to come at them in a certain way, and it's just sort of this. It just seemed like everything was just extra mushy and nice.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
when you
With the
go into a
conversation.
situation, it's like, oh no, you, and then
Yeah.
no, you, no, you, no, I insist, you, but you're just such and such, and this good a person, and then that's sort of what I got, and I think that's because they're trying to do business deals.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do
Yeah.
you feel that? Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also read that, so some translations, instead of what is it, Prince of God, they have Mighty Prince.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if that goes back to when he defeated King Che. Like
Yeah.
they know that he's powerful.
Yep.
They know
Yeah.
God is with him.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm gonna be nice to him. Like even if he's coming to me in what seems a humble way,
Yeah.
he's still Abraham.
Right.
Like he's still the guy who defeated this nation.
Yep.
So, but I think Abraham, I don't know why he's being so nice, because he knows the land is promised to him. But yeah, I'm not sure, like, why is he being so humble or like trying to tread lightly?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I wonder if it's because there was nothing really said that Abraham would have to buy anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because even what I forgot who the Lord was talking about, but he was talking to Abraham about the land he would have, and he said something to the effect of their iniquity of
The
this
Amorites.
Yeah, I think it's the Amorites, hasn't reached its peak yet where I'm ready to dispossess them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if it's the difference between the Lord giving you the land, which means it's going to be yours, versus you buying it. Because here he's looking and is going to be looking to buy,
Mm-hmm.
right? This parcel that he wants. And he's buying it for a specific purpose. And he continues to say that throughout this, to bury my dead, right? Like, I almost wonder if he's saying that to be like, look, I'm not going to necessarily just reside there. I just want a place to,
Yeah.
bury my dead out of my sight. So I wonder how much it is that the given and how the land is ultimately going to be obtained versus the fact that Abraham is realizing that he's probably going to have to purchase something and working with the Hittites to get where it is that he wants to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of read it as like he was, like you said, he came very humbly to them. Like they called him a prince of God, but later on it says he still bowed to them. So he was very humble, and it's like maybe it was like he was thinking, this is what God has called me to do, and I don't want to mess this up. Like I want to make sure I get this tomb. Like later on he gets more, but I want to get this tomb, and God will establish me a little bit here, and then God will do the rest in type of way.
In time.
And yeah, in time. So he just didn't like. I think he's a humble guy. Like he didn't want to come off as like I'm doing this out of my own strength, or out of my own what do you call it, whatever he has in a way.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm thinking about when he was making the deal, right? With the who was he making the deal with? About the well,
Ephron.
where he
Oh.
dug the well.
With Abimelech.
Yeah, with Abimelech. He dug the well. It's their land, right? He digs the well there, and he's like, this is mine.
Yeah.
And he gives the Yule lambs because of that thing. So is this him? Because a lot of commentaries I read was like, he doesn't have any possessions here. He doesn't own any land, but he owns the wells. Like there's certain things where he's like, no, this I'm establishing this as my own. There's times where he's built altars in places as, a landmark for something. But but in this case, he's looking to buy. But it's a little confusing to me if in the future it'll all be yours anyway. Like, what is the purpose of purchasing it?
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't figure that out.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, I get that. And
Yeah.
remember where he worked with Abimelech because they took his well was Beersheba, right? He's in Hebron now, which is a little ways away. So the well that he has in Beersheba may
Is
not.
Beersheba not in Canaan?
I think it's in Canaan, but I have a map here that I'll put in,
Okay.
and it'll show you that there's a little bit of a distance between Beersheba and Hebron.
Okay.
And well, so going back, not to that's one of the things that was interesting to me that I didn't bring up was it says that Sarah died in Kiriath-arba, which is in Hebron.
Mhm.
But the last place that we left them was with Abimelech in Beersheba. So it's like, what happened that there was such distance
Yeah.
that happened there, you know?
Mm.
So I wonder if some of it is I've got Abimelech, he's giving me rain in his land, but now I'm going to the Hittites, this other group. They're in a Hebron area of Canaan, a little further north, and so it's a whole different atmosphere, right?
Yeah.
They still know him, obviously from this, but he doesn't have anything there that he can lay claim to like he could the well in Beersheba. So I'm wondering if that has something to do with it too.
Mm.
But I see what you're saying because if the Lord says He's going to give you something, why buy it? But at the same token, because he's considering himself a foreigner and a sojourner, right? He can't just walk in and lay claim to this cave that he wants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, success. I couldn't wait to get that in.
You just threw it in there.
It just like I was doing this, and I was like, "Hey."
For those that are not watching,
Gen,
they're gonna be like, "Why did he say that?"
I know. I don't even think is that a Gen Z thing?
No, it's Gen Alpha.
Yeah, Gen Alpha. That's their thing.
I don't know what it is. I just think it's funny. So anyway, so yeah. Anything else in those verses? What about anything stand out to about the response of the Hittites? We know they call him Lord, you're a Prince of God among us. They're like, you'll get to go wherever you want. Did you all find that interesting or have any thoughts on that?
Like their willingness to
Yeah.
say, like they said, you can have any tomb you want out here. You just
He's
pick.
Abraham, man.
Yeah.
My bad. We just talk about Abraham.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like this is Abraham, and Abraham wants to be in our city. Like he wants to have his tomb here, and it's like let him establish his stuff here, and we'll boast that we have Abraham and Sarah, the mother of this generation. She's here in our city, and kind of maybe to like a claiming over them in a way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think ever since we did the whole defeat of those people, I look at Abraham way different. And so it makes more sense when people are giving him so much respect.
Yeah.
Like Father Abraham, yes, we know the song, we know the things, but I never saw him as a warrior or
Mhm.
like there's more to him than just being the father of nations.
Yeah.
So going through that chapter just makes me see him different. Now I'm like, yes, why wouldn't they?
why
Like it's
not?
Abraham.
Yeah.
And that's a good point because sometimes we wonder why these things are in scripture. And I think you're bringing up a good point. You see his prowess on the battlefield. You see the Lord is with him on the battlefield.
Yeah.
Right? As Melchizedek pointed out.
Yeah.
And so we should look at him differently.
Yeah. Even when he messes up, God is behind him.
Right.
Like, and you see it. So with the Pharaoh, you saw it. He messed up, but God still made sure he was good.
Yeah.
And later on, he messes up, and they're like, "Why would you like if your God is like this? Why would you set us up like this?"
Right.
So it's Abraham, but it's also we know who's behind Abraham.
Yeah. Very good point.
Yeah.
Very good point. That's good. That's good. Last thing here. Do you all make anything of the fact that Abraham already knew what he wanted. Did y'all pick up on that?
Yeah.
Like he knew which tomb.
Yeah. He's like, oh, I already scoped out
Mhm.
where I'm
Scoped the
where
scenery.
I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
You say I can have any place? Yeah, Zohar, Ephron. He's got a little cave.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I want to go.
Yeah.
Like, bruh.
But he was
But again-
told by God to look at this whole land, walk the land. So he's had chance. He's been here a long time by now.
Yeah.
So it's over 40 years of him being in this land.
Yeah. I think you said it was like 62.
Yeah, I think it is. Hold on, I think I wrote it in my notes. 62 from the promise to now.
To now.
And I don't know what year it was where God told him, after he separated from Lot, God told him, walk around, like, get used to this because all of this will be yours.
All of this.
So, yeah, I know where it is. Like, I want that one with all the good stuff in the cave. Like, I wasn't really shocked that he knew where he wanted to be.
I thought that was a flex. I thought that Abraham was like, yeah, he was. I thought I read it almost like he was playing him a little bit, like he's coming in being, I'm a foreigner, I'm an alien.
And he calls out Ephron.
Yeah, and
He
he's
already
like,
knows his name.
oh, really? Y'all gonna give me any? Right there. That's where I want to go.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
And notice that he's not, and I think this comes into play later, he's not asking for the entire area. He's just is at the end of his field. So that's what he wants. There's a cave at the end of his field. And then he's like, I'll even pay for it.
Yeah.
I'll even buy it.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else on those several verses? All right.
No.
Next up.
All right. Genesis chapter 23, verses 10 to 16. Now, Ephron was sitting among the Hittites, and Ephron the Hittite answered Abraham in the hearing of the Hittites, of all who went in at the gate of the city. No, my lord, hear me. I give you the field, and I give you the cave that is in it. In the sight of the sons of my people, I give it to you. Yeah, I give it to you. Bury your dead. Then Abraham bowed down before the people of the land, and he said to Ephron in the hearing of the people of the land, but if you will hear me, I give you the price of the field, accept it from me, that I may bury my dead there. Ephron answered Abraham, my lord, listen to me. A piece of land worth 400 shekels of silver, what is that between you and me? Bury your dead. Abraham listened to Ephron, and Abraham weighed out for Ephron the silver that he had named in the hearing of the Hittites, 400 shekels of silver, according to the weights current among the merchants.
All right. So when you read that, do you think that Ephron is sitting right there as Abraham gives this at the last discussion or back and forth?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you explain that he's at a gate?
This is where the business happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. They were all kind of in that area, and Ephron was among them, the Hittites.
I wonder if they left where they were and had to go to this Machpelah to get access to Ephron so that he could ask him or talk to him about getting the land.
But it says now Ephron was sitting among the Hittites.
Mm-hmm.
And Ephron the Hittite answered Abraham. So he heard the question, is how I'm reading it. He heard him ask, can y'all ask him? And he's like, I'm right here. And like, yes, you can have it. That's how I read it.
That's how you read
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, similar.
When I send it, when you look at the map, just note Machpelah and Hebron are just separated by a little bit.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know how it's interpreted that he heard what was said.
Are you
Because
saying
I'm
it could
with
be
you, right? Somehow Ephron heard this, but then we didn't hear anything about a gate. And we know what the gate means from when we did Ruth, right?
Mhm.
That's the business center. So we
Mhm.
didn't hear anything about a business center. Why talk about the way Ephron is brought up is a little interesting to me as well. And I did read a couple commentaries that said that they left where they were and went to Ephron.
Mm.
So Yeah,
Yeah,
I can see it either way.
and I would still lean towards him being there and them being at the city gate because of the Ruth story and because of Lot's story where the angels came, he was already at the gate. Like this is if important things are happening, this is where we are.
Right.
So all important people, well, I'm guessing all men of the city who have any sort of dealings to do, they're in this
At the gate.
city center doing their
Right.
dealings.
Doing city business.
Yeah.
Or personal business. All right. So we got that out the way. What do you think about Ephron and his willingness to give
Yeah.
Abraham the land that he's asking for?
I think it was. I would think Abraham would have been surprised. Like, I came to you and I asked for, a tomb, and all the other people, they were like, "Oh, pick any tomb you want." They didn't say, just go and see what land you want. And he's like, "No, like, what? I'll give you the land too on top of that." And I feel like it's like God was like setting up a way for him. Like God just put that there for Abraham because it's like he just wanted a tomb, and it's like the tomb would be still in Ephron's land. So he's like, no, like this is your land now. So it's like you have a piece of Canaan. Like this is the beginning piece, and it's not just something inside somebody else's land that you still have to go to them for this and that. If you want to, like it said he had the trees that were all there. So I think God really just set it up for him like perfect. Yeah.
So we know Abraham is not one to just, maybe we don't know, because I was going to say he's not one to take where it would take away from God giving, right?
Yeah.
I agree with you on that.
I want to agree with myself, but I'm thinking about other times where he has taken and it wasn't God necessarily that gave it to him.
Yeah, you're talking about with Pharaoh and Abimelech.
Yeah. So I don't know. But when he was dealing with where Lot was, when the king came and said, "Hey, take all of these things," he's like, "No, because I don't want anybody to say that you made me wealthy. Like all of this is God making me wealthy." So when they're offering, like, "No, you can have it," he's like, like, "No, I will give you the money." But I also felt like they were being strategic too, because he's like, "Oh, what's 400 shekels? Like, we're friends.
That's just some change.
Yeah,
Felt like that
You
was
got
a
it.
connive.
yeah, and that's not a little bit of money.
Yeah,
It is not.
no, it's not.
Yeah,
At that time, 400 shekels of silver.
yeah,
And a shekel was whatever the weight was at it, because they didn't have just coins, so they would actually go and weigh and
yeah,
understand what the weight of a shekel is.
yeah.
Weigh 400 of them, and then that's yours.
Yeah, and what I read was that's at that time it was about 10 pounds of silver.
Ooh, a shekel is 10 pounds?
No, the 400
Oh.
shekels was equal
The
to
one-
no, the 400 shekels was equal, but that's still a lot of
still a
that's
lot.
still a lot.
Heavy.
If you had 10 pounds of silver right now, you are pretty rich.
Got a little bit of monies.
Yeah. And he's just like, "What is that? Like pocket change." But I feel like he knows who he's talking to. Abraham got it. and I think some things I read were saying that's the start. It was supposed to be a start of a bargaining thing.
Right.
And Abraham's like, "Yeah, whatever.
You
Like,
just gotta-
take
Yeah.
the money."
Abraham wasn't with the bargaining.
They wanted him
Yeah.
to start begging. He said,
Yeah.
"Nah, I got it. Don't worry."
Nah, I got it. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. And then one other thing that stuck out to me was the fact. So I wonder, even in this whole thing, if the Hittites are talking bigger than they intend to, if that makes sense. Like, oh, you can have any place that you want to. And I wonder if that puts Ephron in this place where he's like, okay, I have to respond being this overly generous person. Just you can have it. Even though I think that may have been a little disingenuous. Because just imagine if he's like, you can have it. And then later on he comes back and it's like, why are you here? Get off my land. Weird. To the 400 shekels and to the offering of the field and the cave. It's almost like, I think, just like you were saying, Lillian, that this grand gesture may have been God ordained to give Abraham that first piece.
Yeah.
But I thought it was interesting that he was saying this in front of his sons and the Hittite people, because whatever Ephron is giving away is part of his son's inheritance.
Mhm.
So he's making this claim of what he's going to give away, this field, the trees in it, and including this cave. And that's like his son's, I don't know how much he had, but his son's probably like, Dad, what you doing? You're
Yeah.
giving away part of my inheritance.
Yeah.
But he made a point of saying it because he wanted, I guess, for everyone to hear it. So I thought that was pretty.
Yeah. I have a study Bible, and it has like the notes at the bottom. And I don't know if I interpreted it this way, but they in the notes they put that this was kind of all like a ruse. Like Abraham knew that they weren't really being genuine in their interaction with him or this business deal with him at all. So like, oh, Abraham knew they would never just give him this land for free, or they would never just give him it for a cheap price. And Abraham, just the way he cut that off was showing that he knows that I know what you guys are trying to do, and I'm navigating that how I want to navigate it. Like you guys aren't in control of this transaction that's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, from what I was reading, it kind of felt like you guys were saying, like they respected him in a way, and they didn't expect him to pay that 400 up front or anything like that. That he would just take it and it would be like a gift from them, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to your point, Moyo, I think we saw that with the king of Sodom.
Mhm.
Did we also see it with Abimelech and the well? Did he make
Well,
the offer of the 7 ewe lambs in spite of Abimelech saying, no, you can have it?
well, I think Abimelech said, "I wasn't aware that we took your stuff."
Right.
And so Abraham said, "Well, here's this."
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's like, "Why are you giving me this?" And he
Right.
said, "Because I want it as proof that this belongs to me."
Right.
Yeah.
So we sort of, to me, I think we sort of have a track record of Abraham not just accepting things like
Yeah.
that. And because it was a potential ruse, and that's just how he rolled, aside from those 2 times, which are special times, right? If you think of those cases. Because in each of those cases, it's a weird thing. But Abraham lied, yeah, but Pharaoh and the king took his wife.
Took his sister.
I know he lied. I know. But it's still it's a different circumstance because they took something of his. I don't know. I don't know how you reconcile those 2 things against the other things where he was like, I don't want it to be said that, you you made me wealthy, is what he said in Sodom, I believe.
Yeah. Maybe it's the fear of God aspect. So he accepts the gifts because he knows Pharaoh and King Abimelech were visited by God in a way, and they know that the God of Abraham is someone who has a lot of power.
Right.
And maybe that's the difference. And I think when we talked about Pharaoh, it was the shame of, like, you can't now be high and mighty after you just lied. So I can't say, "Oh, I can't take that. I don't want anybody to think what you were lying." So people already think like, just take the stuff and go. And he said, "Just get out of here. Take
Right.
your stuff and please get away from us."
It's just,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I can see what you're saying. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know.
To add it to the list.
Add it to the. That's what I'm about to say. Add it to the list of questions that we're supposed to ask.
Yeah.
Oh man. So, anything else with these verses? I think we summed it up pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. So, next up, Genesis chapter 23, verses 17 through 20. So, the field of Ephron and Machpelah, which was to the east of Mamre, the field with the cave that was in it, and all the trees that were in the field throughout its whole area, was made over to Abraham as a possession in the presence of the Hittites, before all who went in at the gate of his city. After this, Abraham buried Sarah, his wife, in the cave of the field of Machpelah, east of Mamre, that is Hebron, in the land of Canaan. The field and the cave that is in it were made over to Abraham as property for a burying place by the Hittites.
Mm.
All right. So, deed is done. The land has been deeded over to Abraham.
Mhm.
And it's almost like, even though if you all get this repeated idea that it was done at the gates in front of all the people is like to provide like notary stamps or a
Yeah.
seal of, like, this is a legitimate deal that was made
Mhm.
for this piece, this parcel of land
Yeah.
Yeah.
for Abraham. And it's repeated several times where it is.
Yeah.
And I think that's the reason for it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what else did you all see and hear? Or anything else you want to bring up or talk to in these couple of verses?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like you said, similarly, like the the act that there were people around that witnessed this transaction.
Mm-hmm.
They seen the money go from Abraham to um, Ephron, and there's just a lot of proof and legal evidence that this is Abraham's land now, not just the cave, the field, and everything. It belongs to Abraham, and it's his um, his family's possession now. Like you said, it's no longer belongs to, or you said it's no longer his sons.
Right.
It's Abraham's sons. It's gonna be his family lineage that owns it, and it's
Mm-hmm.
no longer. It's like no longer Hittite land in a
Right.
way.
Right.
So it's like God said in the promise, this is your land, and it's the beginning
Yep.
seed in that way,
Agreed.
and kind of like in the beginning where he said, Sarah's importance in all this.
Mm-hmm.
She gave birth to the beginning, the son who was supposed to begin this large lineage that God promised, and now she's going to be the first one buried in this land that God promised to
Wow.
over to all the ancestors. So it's kind of like just her importance from that time to even her death, that she's this is their land, and she has marked it as a kind of like a permanent marking that God has said
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
show out his promise.
Yeah. And when I looked up this cave, apparently they have an idea of where it is and they've built something on it.
Yeah.
And it's, from what I was reading, there's been a lot of dispute about who this space belongs to. So Muslims are
Yeah.
fighting over it, Jews are fighting over it,
Yeah.
Christians are fighting over it. But I think now it's more of a everybody's welcome to come in type of situation. But there's an
Yeah.
actual building on top of the cave now.
Okay.
I read that it was a mosque.
You said it was a mosque?
A mosque that they built on top of, but it's like you said, it's like Jews and Muslims. It's like an important place for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they kind of share it.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. And that makes sense that it's that important, because our first season we went through Joseph's story and Jacob. Remember when they buried Jacob? They took him out of Egypt, and I think they took him back to Machpelah, this cave,
Yeah.
to bury him. So
Yeah.
it's not just, it's everybody, all
Yeah.
the
All
you
the
know,
patriarchs.
patriarchs, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And I think even Joseph was like, when you leave, take my bones with you.
Mm-hmm.
And they did that when they left in Exodus to bury him there too. So um, this is a lasting landmark, a lasting possession for them over centuries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty important, and it's an interesting point that you brought up, that the seed comes through Sarah, and Sarah's the first one that is actually buried there.
Mm.
And a matter of fact, if I remember reading, we don't get any either of Isaac or Jacob's wives being buried there or talked about the burial. We find it out maybe afterwards, like
Yeah. After.
other information that talks about, oh yeah, by the way, such and such is there too.
Mm.
So that's pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
I think in your notes you had something about the trees. Did you have something you wanted to say about the trees?
I don't think so. It was just the fact that, yeah, there were a lot of them and they keep mentioning them, but I didn't have anything other than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
I would look them up and I was like, what would be significant? Like why are they throwing in the trees as
Mm-hmm.
part of it? And someone was basically saying that Ephron wouldn't be able to come and harvest from that anymore. It's not his land. So the trees on the land are no longer his either because he gave away everything. So if he was making money from them or if he was using them to eat, it's not your possession anymore.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
Man. I wonder if he regretted his deal afterwards.
Maybe.
He got a good chunk though.
Yeah. Maybe he was a money man. That was a little bit of his possession.
That too. That could be true too.
Or maybe he was like, man, I should have asked for 600.
Yeah.
I got settled at 4. I could have asked for more. He probably would have given it to me.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was a quick one.
This was a quick one.
I say that, but
we'll see how long it is. Not that long though.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's quick, but it is a lot. There's a good deal of information in these 20 verses.
yeah.
We still see, as we've already pointed out, the promise sort of you see it starting to be fulfilled in terms of ownership in the land.
Mhm.
We know that that the Lord told Abraham that after 400 years they come back and actually really possess the land, but Abraham gets a taste of that now. We've seen just a lot of progression in Abraham's life, and sort of culminating with the birth of his son Isaac. And I also think that we do see that Abraham cares a little bit about Sarah.
A little bit. Yeah.
I don't have any words. You have to watch the season to see why he's saying that.
I'm trying to save Abraham. I'm trying to, because he's
Put
been
out
catching it.
a good word for him.
I'm trying to big up him.
Yeah.
But
He's a man's man. Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
I think so.
Kind of like
a girl's girl, but
for a man.
a man's man.
Man.
Yeah.
Hey, not just anybody can defeat King Che.
Yeah.
All right, folks. I think that's it. Unless you all
missing
have anything else.
Your ending.
My ending.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean where I do an invitation?
Yes.
Oh, let's see. Believe in Jesus.
Amen.
How about that?
Yes.
I
Believe in
mean,
Jesus.
because, and we've been saying this all throughout, right? There are a number of times where there's an easy segue into Jesus Christ, right? Because especially in these chapters, right, 12 through 23, because there's so much that's going on that points you to Jesus. But even here, I think you still see the promised seed that's ultimately going to end up in Jesus. You see the patriarch and the matriarch, who are those who are called out and told, particularly in Abraham, I will make you a great nation. Every nation will be blessed by you. Uh, and that's still really pointing to Jesus. So even though we didn't do a lot of like theology, Christology type of things, or type things in terms of representing Jesus or things that point forward, even in this, I still think just by having Abraham mentioned, having Canaan mentioned, having the land being purchased, having this legacy of where the patriarchs and the matriarchs are going to be buried, that we still get to the point that all of this is working towards Jesus. So, as we usually say, the content of the gospel, as we like to say, is that Jesus died for your sins according to the scriptures, that he was buried, and that he was raised from the dead according to the scriptures. Go read 1 Corinthians 15, verses 3 and 4. Read 1 Corinthians 15, the entire chapter, because it's really good. But those two verses are what I like to call the content of the gospel. And if you believe that, then you're a believer.
Yeah.
You are a believer in Jesus Christ. You are one who has been taken out of death into life, out of darkness into light, and we celebrate with you. I wish I had my applause button because I hit it. But if you have made that decision, again, we'd love to hear from you. As we pray before we start, we don't do this. We do this in part to help edify ourselves, but also to be a resource and to let others know about this Jesus, and invite them to partake in his goodness.
Yeah.
So if you believe, we'd love to hear about it. And if you are a believer, that's the first step. The next step is to be discipled. So if you are a believer and you need a good church, a Bible believing church, a Bible teaching church, let us know. We have some resources that we can get access to that will help with finding a church in whatever area that you are watching from. So, how'd I do?
Good.
That was good. All
That
right,
was good.
cool. I think thank you, Lillian, again for stepping in.
Yeah,
We
thank you.
appreciate it.
Yes,
Thank
we
you for
do.
having me.
Yeah.
It was good.
Hopefully, we didn't scare you off. We
No.
were nice. I think we were nice.
No, it was good.
Yeah,
Mm.
cool. Any last words, Smir?
No?
All right. With that said, we out of here.
Mm.
Deuces.
See ya.
Bye.